Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are gonna do a little recap about 1320s in my Ultimate Decade Challenge. Before we proceed, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, this would be great help, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Well, first of all, I want to talk about the world and the fact that we are literally using much more worlds with this decade. This is how Willow Creek looks like now. And I'm not sure when, but basically I've decided that it's like UK, basically, the Willow Creek. So this little area here, which is called Courtyard Lane, this is Ireland. So there's 4 lots, we only have one family living there currently. And then this area, which is Foundry Cove, it's Scotland. We used to have Gail and Travis Scott living there, but unfortunately both of their children died, and then Travis died as well. So Gail is not gonna have children anymore, and Juliana, her sister, moved in with her as well in this decade, and now they're living there together. So both of them will basically wait until their roles come up, and I'm just not even opening them anymore. We also have Richard's side here, so it's Gavin Richards from, I think it's called Roommates. It's the ones from Oasis Springs, so basically Gavin Richards is from there, and Annabelle from Reginald's family became his wife, and they are raising their Scottish children there. Very excited. Then, I mean, you couldn't see some of the stuff, but it's behind me, but it's there. So everything else is England. So how it's done is, from this end we have Reginald's side, so it's still Greenwoods, and they're kind of second branch of the family who might become the heirs eventually. And we already have Reginald's grandson, son of his eldest son, who had a child with Liberty Lee and died. Well, actually he died when she was pregnant in the last decade. And here we have another one, and they really have a lot of children. I think they're all to have 12 or 10 children. And then I put this castle here that I got from the gallery just to give it the feel, you know, because this lot was empty and it didn't sit right with me. Eventually I'm thinking I'll move the Goth branch in there. Speaking of which, I have Goth family represented now. So I basically aged up Alexander and Cassandra. Cassandra married into my main household, and now with my heir Gilbert, and now she's living there with the children. And his youngest son of the Gilbert is called Simon, and he's living there with Luna Villarreal. This is their only child, the only child they will have, and she's from Winterburg, I think. Yeah, I think she's from Get Together. Anyway, then on this side we have the Lumberjackson main household. There's Anya. This is not her children. She wrote to never marry, never have children. Those are children from her brother Herbert that had children with Summer Holiday from BFFs, and both of the parents died, so Anya is taking care of them in the main household because Tori there is current heir of that house. Even though it's side, I still play as if I have 3 main lots. Basically, I have the main household, well, not, I have the main lot, which is my Greenwood family, and every heir will be living there. Then I have my Greenwood side main house, so it's always there, and I have my Lumberjackson main side house as well. All the rest is basically free to use. Now, we also started to use Oasis Springs. For the moment it became Spain. Skyward Palms became Spain, to be precise. And we have Villarreal family there, so they consider to be Spanish. So here we have Hugo and Margaret, I think, which is a younger sister of current heir, and they just had a baby. And here we have Max Villarreal, so Hugo and Max are both brother and sister of Luna. I just aged them up all and married into my family one by one. And he's having a family with Catherine from Reginald's house. So this is basically that house. We have more, of course, we have more options. I'm thinking to do maybe south of Europe here. So Spain, Portugal, Italy, maybe Turkey, Cyprus, maybe like by the water. I just need to see how the land looks there, because from what I remember, it looked quite city-like. So I need to check that. So we are keeping Newcrest empty because I'm thinking eventually it will be America. In Magnolia Promenade, which is my France, we still have just one family, Verg, and I mean it's Vert, but I say Verg because it's French. That's a bit stupid, but it's true. So unfortunately, Yvette died after giving birth, and they had originally like 4 children. They're left with 2 currently, and I really hope they survive because I really want this to be the beginning of the French families. I don't want to have more there, to be honest. Now, Windenburg, Strangerville are not used, and also Glimmerburg, neither Hanward on Bagley. So basically, I'm currently playing in 3 worlds, and it's already too much to handle. So if I actually go, I have currently 49 playable sims out of 150, and it exactly coordinates with well, except for Mrs. Brooks. Okay, Mrs. Brooks, here she is, she's not my sim, so it's 48, but it's exactly same as playable, well, as alive sims in my spreadsheets. And speaking of spreadsheets, I think it's time to go there. Right, so here we are. You can see basically everything. It's starting from 1320, and then it goes from 1320 until now. So this is the last year we played right here. And many things happened. We had so many children being born. I can't even tell you. I had my first triplets in this episode, and in this decade, and all of them died. Like when I did the rolls for the children being born, one by one they just died, which was crazy. But yes, we did have many children, and we do have still more children to go through. But we are done with the marriages, so now there's no like new sims coming into family to give birth. And then if I go here, you can see that I currently have 48 alive sims and 50 deceased so far. So we are just 2 sims short until we get to 100 sims. I'll be very happy to get 100, and I might do something special for the child number 100 to be born. I'll think about it. It's not like child number 100, but it's sim number 100, you know? I'm thinking maybe to even give it my name. I don't know. It just will be very sad when he dies, or she dies. And we have sex stats here. So we had 46 males and 52 women. And I did have a feeling that we had much more girls than boys, but especially the ones who survived. Then age of death, it's kind of weird. It's weird to think that we had just 1 toddler dying. Like, I'm not sure it's true, but maybe they're right, you know, because it goes by age rather than Sim's life stage, if it makes sense. Then historically wise, there was nothing really that affected gameplay in this period. We were just focusing on expanding the family and getting married. From original Sims, we had some death as well. So we had Reginald dying, we had Adam dying, our previous heir. That's when Gilbert became the heir of the household, and then later on he married Cassandra. But we had a couple like of difficult days at home because it was just teenagers by themselves. And Eleanor Lumberjackson died as well, just in the previous part basically. And in the next decade we will have our last original sim, Isabella, dying. By the way, I never said it anywhere, but I do have this video on my channel where I make like ultimate Willow Creek sim, and Isabella is that sim. She is the mix of absolutely every Willow Creek original sim, like base game, you know. So it's each child of goth, each one of there's pancakes mixed in, there's Alice, Kim Lewis, Spencer, like absolutely every sim is mixed into her. And I do have that video up. There's also a male version which I will later on use 2. So, this is more or less it for everything, and I will be very happy by now if I get any kind of name suggestions, anything. I do have my Discord, which I currently don't use because I don't have many people following me, so it's quite obvious it's not my strongest thing. But if you want to chat or talk to me, I'm available there all the time. I have notifications on my phone, so let me know. And now let's move on to the family tree, shall we? Okay, I took myself off the screen, but the tree basically doesn't fit into the screen anymore. Like, I try, but it seems cut out, so it's basically impossible to do. But if you go section by section here, for example, we have Benedict and Matilda, Gen 0, so they had 3 children. They had Adam, my previous heir, they had... Oh, I forgot to get rid of... Well, they had Eleanor, I'll have to black her out, and they had Reginald. And then you can see basically absolutely everyone. So our current heir is Gilbert, his wife Cassandra is here, and you can see their children and everything. I update this constantly. I constantly do cross-check with my spreadsheets, and the only downside of having a tree on Ancestry is the fact that you cannot just share it. So if you want to have access to it, I keep saying it in every video, but if you do, just ask me in the comments and I'll get you the special link, so you can always view this tree or go to discover it. What I mean by like discovering the tree, for example, if you want to see Cassandra's tree, you can go right here. You'll have Bella Goth and Mortimer Goth, and you will see that Cassandra is married to Gilbert and Alexander is married to Estrid, and there's their trees too. For example, if you go to Estrid, we see that she was born in 1309. If you go to gallery, you'll be able to see all of the pictures. So this is her as a toddler, as a child, as a teenager, and now as a young adult. And if you go to life story, for example, for anything, Ancestry creates basically a story. So they say that Henry was 30 when she was born and Eleanor was 26, and now Estrid has 3 sons with Alexander Goth, and she also had 5 brothers and 4 sisters. So it gives you all this information, and you can scroll through, and there's basically everything. She knows that, like, when she was 6, her father passed away, for example, and then you have all the rest. And it's available for absolutely everyone in the family. And that's like my favorite thing about all of that. You can also shorten the tree, basically, and make it smaller. Like, we don't need those things, we don't need these things, we don't need that. So you see, you kind of have that, and it makes me happy. I'm not going to lie. This, just looking like this is my current main household per se. Gilbert, his aunt and uncle, and their partners, and you can even like extend it a bit and see all of his nephews. But you can also go further. For example, you want to see Eleanor's kids too, and it will open a whole new thing. And like this, you can keep on expanding the tree and learn about the family vibes and structures. Of course, the real vibes will appear when I finally get my Growing Together pack installed, but this depends on the randomizer wheel at this point. Now, to go into even deeper, I keep updating the presentation that I shared in the last recap, and sometimes I have like hate relationship with it. Sometimes I'm quite happy I'm doing that, but that's basically something I spend a lot of time doing every time. So if it's something you want to watch, I'll keep doing it for the moment. So basically it's a little story about everyone, so Gen 0, Gen 1 and so forth. Like, you have family pictures for every decade. I haven't done for this decade, but I will. I will do it actually after the video. So, well, after I film this video, so it's kind of done. For example, we know that Yvette died at young adult, so there's no continuation. Isolde died as a teen, for example, and so on and so forth. You can see, for example, Gail is still alive, so adult and elder options are on the bottom there. And it goes like this over and over. There's so much information, like graphically, it's there. This is something I want to do now, basically, is I want to put absolutely every sim alive, but it's very difficult, and I think it's mostly important just to me to look at my sims. Because, like, I know them, they are my sims, you know, it's a bit different. Now I have 48 sims. Here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 20. Well, I have like double of that now. So I don't think I'll be doing a group portrait. Another important part in this whole thing that I'm doing is I'm registering every death in the game and keep updating it with every video that comes out, so it's a little more easy to understand who died when. Mostly it's for namesake and to just cross-check. Like, the more times you write something, the clearer it is. It's basically like story files, and I think in the next decade we will definitely finish this page and we'll start a new one. The last thing I want to show is the photo album that I'm also keep updating since the last video. It has all the screenshots from different years with different things happening, and let me just scroll to the current decade. So here we are, Juliana, Gilbert, Margaret and Simon. In the beginning of this decade, there were still children, which is crazy to think about. Now Gilbert is an heir, he has 2 children, Simon has a child, Margaret, well, she does have a child now, but she also lost 2 children already. So the life moves on, you know, and it's pretty cool to think about. Then we have Ida, Lucia and Honora. This is my Irish family on top right, and on the bottom left, Yvette, the one that lives in France, or lived in France to be correct, because she died at childbirth and she's pregnant on this picture. Then we have Reginald and Herbert right before they both passed away in 1324. And this is a more recent picture that's already when my current heir married Cassandra Goth. Alexander Goth started to visit us pretty often, and it's pretty cute. I also got cottage living during this decade, so she's doing the I don't know what it's called, like embroidery type of thing. And also this is my Ildaria and Graciosa, and they're twins from Spain. They're currently still alive, so I'm happy I took this picture, because I don't have many pairs of twins or triplets that are alive, to be honest, or that even age up to be children at the same time. Now, to quickly come back to my heir chances, because in the next decade there will be like a war and I'm thinking that I might lose an heir, and I might still lose the children, so I don't know what I'll be doing with that. Cassandra is currently pregnant, so I'm going forward. Hopefully she gets another boy. I'm planning for my heir family currently, well, for next 200 years or so, to always have like 4 boys, because just simply based on here, every single boy we had, like Godfrey and Stefan, they died, so 2 out of 4 died, and I was left with 2. And I'm still very scared to lose Gilbert and his children, because then Simon, he ought to have 1 child, and yes, when he will become an heir family, like, limitations are off and he can do more children. But I don't know, maybe Simon will die at war as well. So I'm feeling it. I don't have many options as adult sims, so I really want at least 4 boys as well. If I'm gonna lose this strain of the family, my next options are Benedict here. He is current heir of Reginald. It's because he is son of Gregory, who was the eldest son. So I'm really hopeful for Benedict, but I think he's gonna go to the war, so I also don't know what's gonna happen there. Then we have to skip the Ver family from France. And the next option here, and the last option here, is Andrew. So similarly to my heir family, we kept losing like males. So we had Edward that is lost, we had Osbert, well, it was a girl actually, and Alan. And there's always a possibility to have a girl instead of boy, and the girls cannot become heirs currently. So anyway, then it would be Andrew, and currently he has 2 twins as his heirs. So we'll see how this goes. I think that in future, especially with the war rules, it will definitely be evident in the next decade that we will be losing children. So we're gonna like roll already here, and we'll see who goes to war. And obviously I'm hoping to get more children born here, so of course all of this will be filled in with the children. We have some time until most of the sims will go into the war. Well, okay guys, this will be it for this recap. I'm very happy to do those things. I'm trying to do them smaller as well. And one important piece of information would be that the next decade I will harshly edit for YouTube. I'll try to make videos under 30 minutes just for the sake of it. I just think like I'm really wasting a lot of time sometimes in my streams, and I'm not feeling great sometimes as well when I film them, but I feel like I want to play, and to me this whole challenge basically became a little like TV series in a way. So I really am invested to know what's gonna happen to the children. I feel like it's my children basically. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to click like, subscribe and leave a comment, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.